Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and we're here at the first job of 2018. Welcome to 2018. Yesterday, New Year's Day, we couldn't sit around all day. We actually started this over in the hydraulic press. And here's a glimpse of the couple scenes I had over at the press yesterday. Well, you can only stay in and watch TV on New Year's Day so long, and pretty well got all my chores done and the ham's ready to go into the oven. So I decided to come on out here and grab this lead screw that came in that we showed you last month. And we're getting ready to go ahead and set it up and straighten it. So I got these two rollers right here, and they're about 36 inches apart right here. And of course we got a couple feet hanging off on that end, and we got about just shy of 2 feet hanging off that end. This is kind of the major part of the bend just by eyeballing it. I've set it here at, let me see, I set it on the low side here. Okay, about 0 right there. Alright, once around, twice around, 3 times around, and up to about 770 or so. So we're just barely under 3/8 of an inch of run out within 3 foot. That's pretty extreme. Alright, we're going to go get ourselves a couple pieces of hardwood so we can put them outside here. And we're going to be setting up a couple parallels in here that we can go ahead and put the aluminum block on and do our press. Okay, we pretty much got our shaft running true as far as on the threaded area all the way off to the other end. Maybe just a little tweaking on the other end. But here we got it running about 20 here, 20 there, 25 there, and then we have 150 out here. So we have a bend in here, and actually if you look at it, you can see that this is running out a little bit, but from here on it takes a big dip. So now this is where we go ahead and we start setting it up in the lathe, and we'll do some steady resting and heating and putting the center in and getting this thing to stress relieve into a straight line. Alright, so we pretty well took that big bow right out in the middle of here, and it's looking pretty darn good. Alright, yesterday we had very good success getting that big bow bend out of the center of this lead screw, and then we eyeballed the end where this solid section is, that it had a bend in it, and we knew we were going to have to come over and do a little bit of heat straightening. So let's get going on our project here. Okay, back here you can see minimal amount of moving around. We know that it's not perfectly straight, but it is straight enough so that it's not whipping through the wall there. We've got this dialed in right close to the chuck here, and then we can look at this overall from here to there, and we can physically see this going like this. Now we're going to take a straight edge and we're going to hold it up here. Alright, I'm going to go over with my setup what I have right now to catch you up to where it's at. We made our sleeves early this morning, and this actually slides past the steady rest right now because I have it rotated to line up where I know that the shaft is bent. If you rotate this around, it's not going to go past there. Alright, so just kind of cluing you in on how that happened to be. Now I took and put this here, and we indicated this true. We also kind of played around and we tested the run out here, the run out here, and the run out down in that relief. And this is just relief. It had nothing rides there, and it actually is not riding true with this side or that side. It definitely was a rough clearance for threading. Okay, so we're ignoring that, but we're going to use that for our first bend because we do know that it is bent at this location right here. Now, before we put our steady rest here, we put our indicator on our carriage and we ran it up and down here, and we figured out progressing on the bend here. We had about 10 here or so, and we had about 50 here, and we had about 100 here, and they're kind of going together but not going together. Because they're a little bit about 20 degrees off of each other. As you see, this cross or the high of the bend that we're going to be straightening is here, but the high point really is pretty close between this spot where we marked 150 originally and that spot that's in line with here. So it's about right about there. But we're going to progressively work our way off the end of the shaft. Okay, now the reason why we have our steady rest right here is that's where I want to support that shaft running perfectly true. Now, before you came into view, I actually had this steady rest slid right over this collar, which matches exactly two more collars, so that we can work 1 3/16 Acme thread now anytime we want. Every time that we do a Acme shaft, we make another set of, if we need them, we make another set of rollers so that we can slide over there. Now, I give them a couple thousandths clearance. This actually is, these are pretty tight here. This is about 1.5 to 2 thousandths clearance, but that's more than enough as far as the, if we get a lead screw within a couple thousandths, that's good. It's not a high speed, so we don't have to worry about it whipping, and it's not a vibration type of thing, so we don't have to worry about that. And a lead screw is basically a push-pull application, so that's why a couple thousandths is a very good tolerance to hold to. And you know, if it happened to fit a little bit snugger, it may fit snugger in one area than another area, depending on how much wear and how much polishing somebody has done on a lead screw over the years. Just something to think about while I was rambling on here. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our torch setup, and we're going to heat and stress relieve this. We're going to heat this red hot to stress relieve this point, and we're going to get this point here to run perfectly true. Now, you say, why did we pick this point right here? Okay, as I said, we were grabbing our straight edge before I started rambling on. We wanted to find out, indicating pretty much kind of showed us that it was here, and when you watch this thing spin, you saw it bending here like an elbow joint. And when you have it on the hollow side, or the you can see light through here. Of course, you know, I can see clearance there as well when you're looking straight on it there. And when you rotate it around to where you're at the highest point of the bend there, you can put the straight edge on here, and you can see that the straight edge is making 100% contact up until about that point. And then when you put it on this side here, you can see that that's 100% contact up to that point right there. So that pretty well tells you that that's a pinpoint bend. If it was like solid back here and then was clearance in here all the way over to there, and the same thing over here, you would know that it's a gradual bend. But because of how solid this contact is to here, and solid contact to here, somebody had pulled it, hit it, or crashed it right here. And so that's why we're attempting to start and use a procedure to go ahead and relieve this, make this true, and then we'll regroup and we'll heat here and we'll make the rest of this true. But after we do this point here to here, we're going to remap it so that we don't just take it for granted this is where we're going. We're going to map it as we go. Okay, before we get our torch going here, I put the indicator over here on this straightaway here past where we're working. And we got about 82 thousandths here. But we're going to go ahead and right here, that's 0. And right here, 82. Okay, that way we have a reference to come back to with that. Now we're going to heat this up, and then we're going to slide this in position while it's running. We're going to close this down, and we're going to tighten this down so it'll hold this here. We're going to hold this red until we know it's normalized, long enough to be normalized. Then we're going to back off, and we're going to let it run there. Then after we do that, then we'll release this, and we're going to verify that we stress relieved it and we're running true here. and then from there we'll coincide with what we have for dimensions here, and that will tell us what we need to do from that point on. Alright, here we go. I'm going to leave the indicator so it can run on here. I'm not going that fast, about that speed there. Alright, this will be free to slide down in this position here when I ready. Now you can see that when you put this in that middle area going up and down, you can really see that crankshaft in there. Of course, it's running 0 over here, so we're going to bring that to run 0 first. I'm just bringing this up to temperature first. Starting to get orange. Okay, it's starting to get pretty red. I'm just sliding this in here. All right, in the middle. Okay, now we're just going to hold this steady. Okay. Looking at the small dial there, and we're going probably about 150 or so. Indicator is a little sticky here. Okay, we definitely have a lot more here. Let me get this in neutral here. Okay, there's our 0 mark, and of course that's not there. Our 0 mark is actually right here now, a little bit. Like I said, it wasn't exactly in line over here. Let's just see what we got. Okay, we got 0 there, 180. Okay, so it actually magnified it because the bend was opposite, meaning it was bent out and then it was bent in, and so what we did is we took and we brought that back straight, so this increased. So now we need to go ahead and bend it again. Now what we wanted to make sure, we were trying to get this crosshairs right here to run true. Let's see how we did there. I'm getting 3,000ths right there right now. Excellent. All right. So we've got this running true. We've got within 3,000. That's acceptable there. We may actually have a little bit. Well, it's still that's pretty warm still. Okay, but we know we can set our solid roller up here, and we can heat this at this point here. Let's see what that looks like spinning. And we can still see that we're out a little bit here, but right there we're running within 3,000s right now. And now our bend is from that point there on out here. It looks like it's all on one side. We're just going to verify that real quick. Put it neutral here. Okay. I'm not going to grab that right now. Okay. So we basically know we're about 0 there. And we're going to call that 40 right there. Okay, we're just going to mark 40 on the high, and let's go right here. I should have put it on my carriage, but I don't feel like moving that right now. Okay, there's 0 there. 135, and then we had we just want to basically see if we're all in the same line here. Okay, our 180 or so is right there, in line, and we should be, I don't know, might be over 200 out here. Let's see. 1, 2, 50, 260. That makes sense. Okay, I think we're going to be able to steady rest it right here, heat it right here, put that center in the end right there, and run true, and we'll be able to straighten this in within reason, a runnable straightness right here. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll again. Now, of course, this is riding in here so freely. I have some tension on here. I can rotate it slightly. See, I can even get it to go. But as soon as I heat this up here, probably is going to lock up because we're going to be putting a tremendous amount of heat right here. I got a number 6 tip here now, so it's going to be a little more flame. Whoop. I'm going to have to get this hot enough and then be able to pull it over to get that center in, and then heat it up with the center in, rotate it hot, and then let it cool. I might even have to put a block into my cobalt roller to actually create pressure to push it over. But we'll just try it by hand first. didn't even use them all. I'll grab my rawhide hammer. That way I can shut it off, rotate it around, tap it down slightly, put the center in, and then fire it back up. You know, I don't have somebody else here to give me a hand. Okay. Bring it on up. Okay. Bring in the center. Okay. Keep it rolling. Looked like it was moving, but it's not. Cam rollers are consumable items in my book. They just unscrew out of there and then I screw new ones in. Okay, we undid our rollers there. Backing that off. This should move freely now. It does. That one too. Okay. Now if we come over here, undo our tailstock. Okay, that's running pretty decent right there. Okay, we're going to move our tailstock back, get our steady rest out of here. We're going to put something down here. We're going to polish up this area right here, and then we'll be ready to move on to the rest of our shaft. I like that. Okay, that's the last time you're going to see it spinning in the lathe. All right, let's put it on the rollers. Just double check it one more time here. All right, even as smooth as this thing looks, all right, I got about 5 to 6 thousandths or so running out here, and I might have the same thing in a couple other areas there. I'm not going to snivel about it. This is true enough to give a nice, good lead screw action to the machine it's going to be put back into. All right, I got the woodruff key and I got to tap that back in before I forget about it. All right, and a wrap of tape around that. All right. Pretty cool. All right, until next time, get it done.